Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Holly, and today is video 2 of One Pose, One Breath. This is a series on trauma-informed and trauma-sensitive yoga that is intended to help you or me work through, move through, and feel the emotions that tend to come up that have to do with a past trauma in your life. Trauma is any emotional response to a terrible event in your life. And it is worth noting that terrible is very subjective. So what's terrible to me may not be terrible to you or bad. We have different lives. We have different views on what good and bad is, what good and bad to us feels like. So everyone's barometer of trauma is different, and it's important to know that because it allows you to not only understand other people's lives and what they go through, but it keeps you from comparing yourself to others. Basically, it disallows for a standard of emotional response. There is no standard of emotional response. Whatever response you have is true to you, and whatever response I have is true to me, and so on and so forth for every other beautiful person on this planet. So just knowing that lets you know that your trauma, your experience is real. It's real to you, and it is valid. It's true. Whether you have acute, chronic, or complex trauma, you probably have what have been known as triggers or activations that occur based on comparatively simple things like a smell. Maybe the smell of something can trigger a memory of something, and that memory then stirs up emotion inside of you, in which case it's totally normal. The feelings you have are valid. But knowing that that event is no longer happening, it's not happening right now, but you still have those emotions, there are ways to help you identify and move through those emotions. So that's what this series is all about, is helping you in those times of emotional upheaval. I hate to call it that, but I have some of those myself, and that's what it feels like, is an upheaval. To recognize it when it's happening, sit in it for a moment, do a small practice, and then kind of move on with your life. Because I know that as trauma survivors, the last thing we want to do is sit in our trauma and just feel all of the emotions. That we don't want that. We don't want that for ourselves. We don't want that for our friends and loved ones, because it's agony and terrible. There's that word again, terrible. So today's one pose and one breath practice is child's pose and Devadashanta. So the purpose for these specific things today are for the inquiry of emotional overwhelm, vulnerability, and the feeling of being unprotected. Now, the goal is to obviously stop this emotional overwhelm and vulnerability by reconnecting with our physical body, by giving us an idea of where our body is in space, by creating container. So imagining that your body is a bottle or a barrel or something with a lid, and imagining your entire body as a container that holds everything that you have that's inside of you. And there's an outside of the container, there's an inside there's contents inside this container, and there are boundaries to this container. So identifying container within these times of emotional overwhelm can help ease these emotions and help us just move forward and continue being humans. So we will practice first our breath practice, which is Devadashanta. And Devadashanta is this is another visualization thing. Imagining yourself as a single point. As you inhale, imagining that point expanding out in all directions, like a big orb or planet or sphere, star, anything that emanates light or matter. And then as you exhale, coming right back into that center point. Now, the real practice of Devadashanta is really bringing your awareness and attention to about 12 inches outside of your heart space. So that's about right here. And bringing it back in. I like to go beyond that because I can. So our practice of Devadashanta, if you would like to join me, find a comfortable spot. You can take this lying down, seated in a chair, maybe on the floor with something underneath you. I have some pillows underneath me, right under my tailbone. Cross-legged, legs, however you would like to feel comfortable in this breath practice. It will only take a few moments, so just make yourself comfortable. And as you get comfortable, just start to notice your breath. You're allowed to close your eyes if that is comfortable for you. Maybe take a couple of clearing breaths, like a big gust of wind is just clearing out all the leaves from the driveway. One more. And whenever you're ready, placing a hand on the belly. And if you would like to also place a hand around your heart, with your next inhale, breathe underneath the hands. Lift the hands with your lungs, with your belly, and exhale. Gently pressing the hands in towards the body, feeling the belly, feeling your heart space. 2 more breaths with hands here. you may stay here and continue with this practice for as long as you would like. If you would like to continue expanding upon this breath practice, with your next breath, allow your hands to lift off of your body, gently coming away from the body, as if you're holding your container as it expands, as it fills with air. And exhale, bringing the hands back to the body. With each inhale, allowing the hands to expand further. Possibly taking a pause in between the inhale and exhale. And bringing the hands back to the body. Taking a pause. And continuing with this breath for as long as you would like. I'm just going to take one more because it feels so good. Once you feel replenished with breath, with this simple movement, return to natural breath. If you had your eyes open, allow them to gently rediscover your surroundings, the light, the colors, maybe how your clothing has rested on your body. And now moving into our pose. So child's pose, however you would like to get there. You can have the knees together, you can have the knees a little wide. If you do go with knees wide, allow the big toes to come together. Very gently make your way down. If this is uncomfortable on the knees, you can always put something underneath the body to lift you up a little bit. So maybe pillows under the belly and chest. It kind of brings the floor up to you. You can always have the hands stacked and place the forehead on top. Practicing natural breath. If you don't want anything under you, that's also fine. And taking traditional child's pose, reaching the hands forward, allowing the heart to melt into the floor. And continuing your natural breath. Another variation you may take. Of course, you can take any variation you would like. I believe this is called rabbit's pose. Bringing the arms to either side. You may need to take your glasses off. Resting your head on the floor. This is a lovely container practice. And whenever you would like, maybe just take a couple moments here in child's pose. And as you gently return to a seated posture or whatever it is you take after your child's pose, you can roll over and lay on your side. You can lay on your belly. You can lay on your back, whatever you would like to do. Now, once this practice is over, perhaps journal, write, maybe read, color, go for a walk in nature, take a nap. Anything your heart desires. But as we have moved into, through, and out of these emotions that we may have been feeling earlier, I do want to remind you that your feelings are valid. In no way are we trying to get rid of these emotions, because they are real and they do shape who we are. But this just allows us to feel like we can know ourselves in these moments. It gives us our power back. Because if something traumatic happened to you, your power got taken away in some shape or form. Something was taken from you, and it was unfair. It shouldn't have been taken. And you deserve your own power. So having these practices reestablishes owning yourself and your power, because we're all so strong and beautiful, and we all deserve the most love and care that we can get. Thank you for practicing with me today. I hope you found this helpful, welcoming. If you do or did find it, those things, if you could share it, like the video, hit that subscribe down there for me. Keep your notifications up so you can see when my new videos are up. Right now I'm posting on Saturdays. And yeah, there was one more video before this. I do plan on having more after this. So this is number 2 of trauma work, 1 breath, 1 pose, or 1 pose, 1 breath. Either way. Yeah, and find me on Instagram at Holistic Life, where you can see where I'm teaching yoga. There's also yoga videos on my channel, so all kinds of stuff. I hope you enjoy. Have a great day, and yeah, thanks. See you, bye.